Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Greetings. Well, it's a pleasure for me to share this afternoon with you all. My narrative pretty much begins in June of 1998 until July of 2009. So from ages 7 to 17, I was a homeless youth right here in San Diego, more specifically right here in downtown San Diego. I've slept outside, on park benches, staircases. I've lived in shelter after shelter. If you've ever experienced hunger, then you understand exactly what I mean. How it feels to starve when everyone else around you is eating. It's like striking a match and dropping it down your throat, and it has nothing but gasoline. And every night my hunger set me on fire. I was laughed at, humiliated, teased, all because I did not have a home. You see, homelessness was as a noose around my neck that tightened with every step that I took. I could not breathe. And no, it was not just me. I watched as homelessness separated children and hung their parents to death. And I literally do mean to death. I often wondered how long even I had left. I too am a victim of the rages of society. Hate crimes left me beat with 3 fractures cracked into my face, bruised ribs, gas bubbles under each eye, bloody, unconscious upon the same streets that in which I slept. And this is how I survived for 10 years of my life. I mean, even now sometimes when I close my eyes, I'm still haunted at night. I openly stated I needed a job, an opportunity, college. I just needed my life to advance. But instead of resources or housing, I was assessed based upon my circumstance. I said, but I don't want my life to be of waste, that I want to succeed and exceed the expectations of those in need. They said, succeed? Michael, can't you tell? You're already homeless. You've already failed. Matter of fact, you'll probably end up like your father, serving 15 years to life for murder in jail. Or like your grandfather, who was murdered in jail. Or you'll end up like your great-grandfather, who was killed as well. Well, innately, I did not like that story. Yes, I was homeless, but why should that define me? Yes, I grew up living beneath the poverty line. But why should that define me? Yes, I lived in shelter after shelter from here to Virginia to Texas to Oregon. But why should that map out my life trajectory? You see, when I was in high school, I did my biology under a street light. Because you see, that's what should define me. Will, perseverance, resilience, grit. I understood my route to success would be harder than most. That my obstacles will be stronger, my journey longer, and no, it was not fair. But that was my reality. I did not want to perpetuate the plight of impoverished people. I wanted to break free the chains of homelessness and change the circumstance that I was born into. But first, I had to get off the streets. When I was 17, I got a job as a custodian. And even worse, it was for my own high school of San Diego High, which is right downtown. So you can imagine my self-esteem as a 16-year-old homeless custodian. My peers saw me on my hands and knees, wiping up smeared feces and urine and graffiti, and that's just in the boys' bathroom. I don't really like to talk about all the things I saw in that girls' bathroom. I was just like too young at the time. But or scraping up gum, trash duty, spilled milk all over your pants, and going home to the car and throwing the pants overboard, the roof, ready to go to work the next day. It was one of the most embarrassing, humiliating feats I've ever had to do. But I understood that hard work pays off. It always does, and it always will. And at the age of 17, with the earnings from that income, I was able to move my family out of our car into our first apartment in 10 years, successfully beating our streak of homelessness. But I understood the point was to stay off the streets. And for me, education was the key to upward mobility. So I applied to a few schools. Well, I joined a college prep organization named Reality Changers. And I told them I only wanted to go to San Diego State. It's the only college I really heard of. It was my dream school. I'm like, that's it for me. And then a founder was like, how about you apply to a few more? I'm like, no, that's it, San Diego State. That's where I'm going. Lucky for me, I listened because I did not get into San Diego State. Broke my heart. But I was able to receive a full ride to UCLA. But, yeah, baby. So now here I am. I've come full circle, back to where it all began. Helping the same homeless kids that I once were, having them walk down my shoes, trying to show them a different way. Same work I believe that you all are doing for our families, our kids, our parents, our women, our men, because it does take a village to raise a child. And even more so, it takes a community to uplift its people. And so I ask you, remember, home is where the heart is. But if you do not have a home, where does your heart go? Again, my name is Michael Gaulden. I'll be in the lobby with some of my memoirs. I want to thank you for sharing this afternoon with me. Thank you.